Hi everybody, it's Elaine Spielberg from BalletMet, and I'm so excited to bring to you today a craft that you can do at your home to not just pass the time, but also to be useful in doing your own ballet at home. I'm also going to give you a little bit of ballet history. Let's get started. First of all, let me start by saying that anything that we make, I want you to be sure that you're using things from your very house. I don't want you to ask your parents to leave and go buy things, nor to order things. It's not necessary. What I want you to do is be creative and think how you can make something if you don't have quite what I have. I do provide a couple of solutions for you just in case you're having a little difficulty with that. So today we are going to talk about how headdresses were a very important part of ballets in its very beginning and how it's still a very important part of ballets now. We're going to look at the tiara and the crown for our craft today. Let's start with the tiara. For this, you're going to need 2 colors of pipe cleaners. You'll need about 3 of color number 1, and that's the color that you want to be your favorite color to go in the center, and about 4 or 5 of color number 2. Okay, now if you don't have those particular items, the pipe cleaners, then what you can do is using a piece of paper that you cut out a design, you'll fold it in half, cut out the design, and then get a headband. You'll simply put your paper around the headband like so, glue it, careful not to glue your headband, and then you can decorate it any which way you want. All right, let's get on. First, take your pipe cleaner, and we're going to make a small fold and lift it up, give it a twist around your finger, and then twist it again, and then make another fold at the bottom so that we have more or less a triangle shape with a little loop at the top. Do that 3 times total. And set those aside. Now get your second color, and you're going to do something really similar, but now we're going to put 2 peaks on here. So start at the very end of your pipe cleaner, lift it up, give it a small twist, and bend the wire, give it a little space, and then do it again. Lift it up, twist it around your finger, and set it aside. Do that a total of 3 times. Take it up, loop it around your finger, and twist. Give it a little space, take it up, loop it around your finger, and twist. Once you have 3 of these, now you're going to take color number 1 and color number 2, lay them over the top of one another, and begin to twist them together. There's no right or wrong way with this. You just really want to get them sticking together. Okay, good. Now I have another one that I've already done. And now what we're going to do is take the pieces that you already have and begin to twist them to one another. A quick little note, if you have loose ends of your pipe cleaner, do fold them in so that they don't poke your head. And the nice thing about pipe cleaners is that you can shape it and mold it to be what you want it to be, the shape that you want it to take as you go along with your craft. Okay, so we just need to get the 3rd one in place. So go ahead and take some time to wrap yours and get it affixed to the main tiara portion. Again, if you make any mistakes, mistakes, no worries at all. You can just take it apart and start again. Okay, twist every little thing in there. Remember to fold in, tuck in the little ends so you don't scratch your head. And you can begin to shape it. All right, now we have the front of our tiara, and all we have to do is figure out now how long the back part needs to be. So take one of your extra pipe cleaners, wrap it around the side, tuck in the ends so you don't get poked, and just kind of measure around your head how long it needs to be. There we go, that's mine. And finish wrapping it. Voila! Now you have your very own tiara. So let's now go on to the paper crown. This is another one that's a lot of fun and very easy to make. The paper crown is really just a whole bunch of little stick-it notes all folded and then placed inside of one another. So for this, what you're going to need is about 10 to 12 3x3-inch pieces of paper. If you don't have stick-it notes, no worries at all. All you'll need to do is get a piece of paper, a ruler to measure out 3-inch square pieces. You'll need adult supervision to use the scissors, and you'll need glue for this project. Okay, if you do have Post-it notes, start off by taking one piece, and with the sticky part at the top, keep it to your left. You're going to fold the sticky part up to the left corner such that you have one edge that's closed and you have one that is open. Make a crease along the bottom. And you're going to do this until you have 10, 11, 12 pieces already folded. You can mix colors like what I've done. So now I've got several here that are pink and blue. Now take one color and take the other and take a little bit of your glue. You're going to glue just a little dot and stick it into the open end of your crown, press down and repeat. So you're putting your glue more or less over the sticky end of the paper. Press down and repeat. So that always the new part is being fed into the open end. I'm going to keep doing this process. Once you get here, this goes really fast. So you can do like me, you can make patterns, different colors of sticky notes. You can keep it all the same color. If you have the small ones here, you can also insert those in and make all different kinds of designs. It's up to you. All right, where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not done yet. 10 and 11. All right. Now, once you've gotten this, now you're going to fold it toward you, and on the open end, insert it, and then you can glue it in there. For my purposes today, I'm just going to put a little touch of tape in there, and now you have your own paper crown. That's great. So let's talk a little bit about some history about headdresses. Tiara is another word for diadem, and diadems were used in ancient times where people who wore them were often associated with high status. So you might think of kings and queens, empresses and princes. And the bigger and more impressive the headdresses were, it often indicated your status and your wealth. In the 1600s, the 1700s, and in the early 1800s, when nobility danced for one another, they would dress in the finest garments made from silk and from ostrich feathers, which were very hard to come by, powdered wigs, precious jewels, and they also wore ornate face masks. The more plumes you wore, it showed the wealthier you were and the higher the status you had. The more jewels on your dress or your costuming, also the wealthier and the more status. And the longer your dress was, even the amount of train that went behind you also indicated your wealth and status. In court, and when you would dance, this also indicated what type of dancer or character type that you were going to be dancing. For instance, whether you would be a noble dancer or more of a comic dancer. Now, imagine what this headdress looked like, and imagine trying to dance with that on your head. I would imagine that being lifted and really holding your head steady was very important. Now you can try this. Get a beach towel, find your favorite towel, and put it around your head. Wrap it around your head like you have wet hair. And I want you to try to do triplets around your family room and see what that feels like. It's probably really wobbly, but if you practice it long enough, you'll start to get the hang of it so that your headdress stays steady and that you don't lose your balance. Here's a picture from the 1600s. You can see really carefully. Look how big his headdress was. Yes, so we can really imagine what that must feel like. The good news was that there was this man that came along named Jean-Georges Noverre, and he said, hey, let's do away with these headdresses that are so big and cumbersome. Let's do away with the powdered wigs, and let's start making costuming and headdresses easier to dance in and to move in. He wanted to make dancing to feel more natural. Imagine that. So good news for us. That sort of changed things as far as how big the headdresses were. So this happened in the mid-1800s, and so changes started to happen. When La Sylphide was choreographed, the dancers in that wore just a band of flowers around the head. Very simple and elegant, but it was not so big and cumbersome. By the time that it's near the end of that century, we now see ballerinas beginning to wear crowns in their head. So if you think of Princess Aurora and the Sleeping Beauty, you can see where crowns started to be worn. Now let's skip forward to the ballets that we see today. We see many leading ladies wearing tiaras on their heads when they are performing some of the most desired roles, like the Sugar Plum Fairy in the Nutcracker. While those wigs and the humongous headdresses are no longer fashionable, nowadays most costumes have a headpiece that accompanies the costume. So think about the Nutcracker and how he has his headpiece, and think about the beautifully designed headpiece that the Queen of Hearts wore in Alice. Those are all things that when you perform on stage and you're doing your dancing, it makes becoming that character so much more special because of who you've embodied. So now you've learned a little bit about headdresses and how they evolved over time, how we now have tiaras that we wear on the stage in the ballets that we perform nowadays, and today you have your very own crown or tiara that you can dance with. Enjoy. We'll see you next time. Bye.